kind of finalizing game preparations for Arizona State. Offensively, the running backs are probably the best pair of backs we've seen. They got a lot of explosiveness, big guys, 220-pound plus guys. There'll be a handful for us. Their big thing is running the ball, and we've got to continue to work on our fits and be able to stay on the line of scrimmage and match their runs, and continue to work on eliminating the big plays.
On the topic of fits, their center McCollum is a guy that obviously you guys on at least the offensive side recruited. They put him in 2 games ago, and he looks like a bruiser. What do you see?
He's a good player. I think their whole when I look at their offense, their offensive line, their fullback, their tailbacks are guys that are returning. Those guys are built for running the ball and know what they're doing.
Now, what have you seen out of Wilkins? It looks like he can make some quick reads, but he's not a one-read quarterback a lot.
The thing is, he knows where he's going with the ball, and if it's not there, he's got good enough feet to make some things happen with his feet, whether it be buy time or take off running and make yards.
One thing that UT San Antonio did was they pressed at the line to take away those run-pass options, and then their big guys got open for fades. What did you take away from that tape?
I think that San Antonio they did what was within their scheme and personality, and did a nice job. The biggest thing we have to do is play within ourselves.
How similar is some of the run pass options they do? How similar is that to this offense?
I think that week to week they change some, but it's gotten now to where that's one of the biggest things you see is a run pass option.
So it's not just unique to any.
No, it's not unique. It's kind of like the spread offense and no huddle. It's kind of the thing of the present.
You guys were able to kind of hurt Bouchel a little bit early there against Texas. Looks like Wilkins can take a licking and keep on ticking.
He's a tough guy. He runs the ball quite a bit, and they use him in the quarterback run game, and he doesn't take many hits. He gets tackled, but he doesn't take many direct hits, and when he does, he's a tough guy. He gets up and goes.
What did you see out of Rambo last game?
I think the big thing is Rambo is growing and becoming a good player. You look at where he was a year ago. He played a little bit of safety during fall camp, and then we moved him to a dime position, so he really didn't play safety till we came back and got ready for the bowl game. So he's had 3 games as a player, as basically a freshman player in there, and he's learning. He's getting better every week.
What kind of responsibility is going to be on him, or really any of the safeties, given the fact that Wilkins can run and he'll pull it?
They've got their responsibility. It depends on the coverage and what we're asking them to do, and we try to put them in situations they have a chance to succeed at.
Saw a lot of Hamilton. I think last game a little bit more than we've seen before. How's he kind of progressing?
He's coming along well. He's back from his injury and getting back into the groove and done a nice job for us. And he's going to continue to play. When you're playing 90 plays a game, you've got to make sure that you've got plenty of players to rotate.
See, when he was in there, you guys did go with 3 linebacker alignment.
Possibly that would be something we could do, but that's a package we've carried throughout the year.
You're dealing with another direct snap package with one of the Arizona State running backs like they had last week at Texas. How do you prepare for that?
The big thing you have to count for is the 11th guy. There's so many times that quarterbacks are, if they're not in a run game or whatever, then you're playing against 10 and a guy throwing the ball. But when you get to that, it's the 11th guy, and you got to make sure that everybody's in the run fit.
How much? Will they have Wilkins in on those plays?
Yeah, they'll have him
those
in.
guys.
And they'll do back and forth, and they're going to do some things to make you work at finding out where they're going with it.
Between Richard and Balaj, is there much difference between the two? They can each bring the same thing.
To me, they're both big guys that bring a load, and I'm sure they've got their own running style within. But the big thing is when you hit them, you better bring it.
The improvements that you guys seemed to make last week, as far as really sure tackling, or was that just more due to the fact that those were bigger guys that were?
I think some of it's bigger guys, and I think some of it is you're looking at guys that are playing in the core of the defense, and really you look at 3 defensive backs, 2 backers, and those guys haven't played down after down after down like the Stephen McClure and Hardy Nickerson and Jalen Jefferson had. These guys they're learning, and part of the learning is hey, as they get it, they play faster and faster, and I think that's what's happening from game 1 to now. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.